Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to the Manchester Evening News, Man United inching closer to signing Raphael Varane. Raphael Varane will become a Man United player this week. Man United are ready to make a bid for Varane. The bid could fall between 35 million to 45 million pounds. We are unwilling to pay 50 million for Varane. Varane has agreed personal terms with Manchester United and is set to sign a 5-year contract. That'll keep him at the club until 2026. The other day he said that Raphael Varane to Man United is imminent and the deal will be closed in the next few days for around 50 million euros. Fabrizio Romano did mention that Man United are preparing a bid for Varane and he said we do have a 5-year contract ready. Obviously Varane has had positive discussions with Manchester United and obviously he told Florentino Perez that he wants to leave Real Madrid. So it's looking very imminent that Varane is going to be our third signing of this summer transfer window. Sky Sports did say the other week that we'd been given permission to approach Varane over the personal terms. Varane wants to be able to finish his holiday and then change clubs. Raphael Varane and his family were allegedly house hunting in Manchester, so reflecting on that, that's fueled speculation. We received a massive boost in our pursuit of Raphael Varane. Because Real Madrid's wages are forced to be slashed by 150 million. He said not so long ago that Varane's move to Man United could have been delayed because he said Varane was happy or would be happy to wait another year for a switch to Man United. He recently said that Chelsea are looking to hijack our move. Real Madrid offered Varane a renewal contract offer, but Varane rejected it. Varane's current contract at Real Madrid expires next year. We went in for Varane 10 years ago under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, and Woodward was prepared to sanction a £100 million move for him back in 2018. The other week though it said that Varane had given his word to Man United that he wants to join. And a swap deal was discussed. It says we was willing to offer Paul Pogba or Donny van der Beek as part of the Varane deal. Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. Some people reckon though that he's not as good as John Stones. Real Madrid got Varane from Lens back in 2011. He was a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He was with them over 10 years, made 360 appearances in all competitions, and won a lot of trophies at Real Madrid. So reflecting on that, he's got a good pedigree as a player. But I think Varane will exceed expectations in the Premier League. I'm convinced that Man United will replicate what he did in the years he was with Real Madrid. And what a centre-back partnership that's going to be, Varane and Harry Maguire, because they will complement each other very well. Real Madrid have just lost Sergio Ramos. He went to PSG on a 3 transfer. Now, give you some news on David De Gea. David De Gea is staying at Manchester United. David De Gea has decided to cut short his holiday by 2 weeks to fight for a starting place. Now, the other week, he said that David De Gea could be loaned out by Man United next season to make room in the goalkeeping department. Because it says obviously De Gea's future is in doubt following the arrival of Tom Heaton. But De Gea did say at one point that he's convinced he'll stay at Man United and be Solskjaer's number one for next season. The other week, ESPN did say that De Gea was unsure on Solskjaer's final decision, and it said that De Gea was set for talks with Solskjaer over his future after the Euros. I really wanted to sell De Gea, because if we was to sell him in this summer transfer window, I reckon we'd get from between 40 to 50 million pounds. You know, De Gea's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. De Gea's got like 2 years left on his current contract at Man United. He's on £375,000 a week. He's been a long servant, De Gea. He's endured 10 years at the club. And I reckon he's had around 8 good years out of the 10 years he's been with us, because in the last couple of years he's been a liability, reflecting on the amount of mistakes he's made. A few years ago was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world because he's won everything domestically at the football club. He was our number one for such a long time, and he's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions. You know the news on Kieran Trippier from Atletico Madrid. Spanish outlet AS recently said that Atletico Madrid aren't prepared to sell Kieran Trippier to Manchester United. Neil Custis from The Sun did mention that Man United are close to signing Kieran Trippier for around £18 million, but Mundo Deportivo said that Atletico Madrid wanted a fee of £26 million. Kieran Trippier has been in talks to buy Raheem Sterling's £3 million mansion. We've already had 2 offers rejected for Kieran Trippier. We was in for him in the January transfer window, but we cooled our interest, because Kieran Trippier got banned by FIFA for 8 weeks for breaching betting rules. But it would be beneficial if we could get Kieran Trippier to Man United, because obviously it will provide competition for Wan-Bissaka. Trippier's highly experienced and he's proven in the Premier League. Kieran Trippier has been at Atletico Madrid for over 2 years now. Atletico Madrid paid £20 million for him from Tottenham. His current contract at Atletico Madrid expires next year. Neil Custis from The Sun said the other day that Man United will announce a double deal for Varane and Kieran Trippier towards the end of this week. Saul Niguez could be our next signing after Raphael Varane. Man United have been in advanced negotiations with Saul Niguez's agent. That was stemming from Mundo Deportivo, and Man United are the front runners to sign Saul Niguez. So we are ahead of Liverpool in the race. But it says Man United and Liverpool are set to rival Barcelona in the battle to sign Saul Niguez. Saul Niguez wants a move to the Premier League. I think Atletico Madrid are willing to sell him for around £43 million. Saul Niguez has been at Atletico Madrid a long time. He's been with them for like 13 years or so now. Made 227 appearances in La Liga. Got a contract with Atletico Madrid until 2026. Back in 2017 he signed a 9-year contract and his release clause is around 129 million. He can play as a central midfielder or a defensive midfielder. I'm expecting Man United to endure a very good summer transfer window. Because I am very convinced that Solskjaer's going to get all the players he wants to recommend in. And it's about time Solskjaer got the backing he deserves. Because he wasn't backed enough for such a long time. This summer transfer window is Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. He has now spent over £300 million as Manchester United manager. So far in this summer transfer window we've made 2 signings. We brought Tom Eaton in on a free transfer from Aston Villa. Did very, very well on his debut for the club against Derby in a pre-season friendly yesterday. Tom Eaton made like 2 or 3 excellent saves. And obviously we brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund. Solskjaer has made it clear that he wants to make around 4 signings in this summer transfer window. And he identified the areas where he wants to strengthen up. You know, I think we've got a good chance of winning the Premier League next season. That's obviously Solskjaer's ambition for next season, is to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, which is 8 years ago now. And obviously next season is going to be massive for Solskjaer, and he is aware of that. But our board made it clear that they'll back Solskjaer with summer signings and a new 3-year contract. And before the summer transfer window opened, it said Solskjaer had been given a 150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players. Man United are going to offload players in this summer transfer window. We need to offload players because he's still deadwood at the club. And obviously, you know, the players that we do sell, we will generate money. Alex Telles, he's been subjected to transfer speculation. It recently said that Inter Milan want him on loan. Sky in Italy did say that Roma were in talks to sign Alex Telles as a replacement for the injured Leonardo Spinazzola. Telles has only enjoyed 1 full season at Man United, but he's seldom played. He's only made 9 appearances in the Premier League. When we got Telles last year, I expected him to be our first choice left back immediately, but obviously didn't happen. You know, we got Telles in a deal worth 15.4 million from Porto. Telles has got a contract with Man United until 2024. I'm expecting us to loan Brandon Williams out. He needs to be loaned out to obviously gain more experience and to get a lot more opportunities because he seldom plays for us. Brandon Williams is our 3rd choice left back. He said not so long ago that Southampton were close to getting him on loan, but now it said Southampton could be pulling out of the race. Phil Jones, he's another one. I want us to offload him in this summer transfer window because he's always been inconsistent. He doesn't get in our 11 and he was out of injury for a while last season. Jones is the only outfield player that's still here from the Ferguson era. Being a long-serving player at Man United, he's enjoyed 10 years at the club. Man United have agreed to let Axel Tuanzebe go out on loan, which is the right decision. Obviously, Tuanzebe played in that pre-season friendly yesterday. Did quite well. The best game I recall him having for Man United was the game against PSG. Diego Dalot, I think he's leaving. Don't forget, last season he was out on loan with AC Milan. Andres Pereira, he's another one I'm expected to offload him. He was out on loan with Lazio. I initially thought we was going to be offloading Matic, but now it looks like he's staying, according to recent reports. I want us to sell Matic because I don't think he's good enough to represent the club. He's enjoyed some good games at Man United, but analysing the vast majority of his games, he's been inconsistent. And I've got my strong reservations about him in general, because he's always been a static player, and plus he's ageing up. Matic has been at the club over 4 years. We got him for 40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. Donny van der Beek, there's a very, very good chance that we're going to be offloading him. He's been subjected to transfer speculation. Van der Beek's only endured one full season at Man United, but quite clearly he's unhappy. Van der Beek's made like 36 appearances for us in all competitions, but most of them appearances came from the bench. I recall Van der Beek just starting 4 games in the league last season. Before the Euros, it says that Van der Beek was set for showdown talks with Solskjaer over his future, and he got ruled out of the Euros through injury. We got him in a deal worth 40 million from Ajax last year. He's under contract with Man United till 2025, and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Paul Pogba, it's possible he could still leave in this summer transfer window, but I hope he doesn't. I want him to stay at Manchester United for next season. Will Paul Pogba sign a new contract at Man United? I hope he doesn't. Solskjaer at one point said he hopes Pogba stays and signs a new contract. Laurie Whitwell from The Athletic did say that Pogba is not expected to sign a new contract at Manchester United before the new season gets underway next month. Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next year, because last season we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. At one point, Sky Sports News came out and said that Man United were in ongoing talks with Pogba's representatives over a new contract, and he said we wanted to make Pogba the Premier League's highest paid player with a new 5-year contract worth 104 million. He said we fear losing Pogba on a free transfer. Now, he's had a long running transfer saga. He's been linked with Real Madrid. He's been linked with his former club Juventus. He did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United. Barca and Inter Milan have been in for him before, and PSG have been relentlessly linked with him. Foot Mercato did say not so long ago that Pogba wants to join PSG this summer, and he says we could demand 4 players as part of Pogba swap deal with PSG. We set the asking price for Paul Pogba, it's £50 million. PSG have stepped up their chase. The other week, Julian Lawns said that PSG are considering making a move, and Fabrizio Romano said that PSG are interested in signing Pogba, and PSG made contact with Paul Pogba's representatives. Mini Oriola's held talks with PSG's president. PSG want to partner Pogba alongside Wijnaldum in their midfield. If we are to let Pogba go though, we need to get a good adequate replacement for him. Pogba produced his best performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season because he brings creativity to the team. At one point last season though, Pogba was out with a thigh injury for a while. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far. Pogba's endured 5 seasons at Man United since he rejoined, and he's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him. Martial, I initially thought he was going to be leaving. He's been subjected to transfer speculation, but reports said not so long ago that Martial is going to be staying, which I'm disappointed about because Martial is no longer good enough to represent the club. And Daniel James, he's been subjected to transfer speculation before. But like I've said, there's a lot of players that are going to stay at Manchester United. And I reckon there's quite a few players that have got long-term futures at the club. You know, these good players, you know, Dean Henderson's a good goalkeeper. I reckon he's going to be staying with us. Looks like De Gea's staying now. Like I said, De Gea is still a good goalkeeper despite the mistakes he's made in the last couple of years. Luke Shaw's also good, and I can assure Luke Shaw will be staying with us. Fabrizio Romano said not so long ago that Man United are in the process of extending Luke Shaw's contract. Harry Maguire, he's an okay centre-half, and yes, Harry Maguire will be staying with us for next season. Eric Bailly, you know, he's a decent centre-half, but my element of concern about Eric Bailly is injury-prone, so in that aspect is a liability. Towards the end of last season, Eric Bailly signed a new contract with Man United till 2024. So yeah, Bailly's going to be staying. Lindelof, he will remain at Man United I think for next season, but I can assure he's not got a long-term future at the club. Can perform well when he wants to, but analysing the vast majority of his games at Man United, he's been inconsistent. And Wan-Bissaka, you know, he'll be obviously staying with us, and he's a good right back. He's got to show more attacking intent though. Obviously played in that pre-season friendly yesterday, did Bissaka. Defensively he was good, but he didn't get forward enough. But he's one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. I think he's got a long-term future at Man United. Scott McTominay, you know, decent player, but he's not yet on that level where I want him to be at. The question is, can he emulate that level? He certainly needs more time at the club. McTominay's been part of the club for a long time as it stands. Just after the first lockdown last year, he signed a 5-year contract with Man United. So, reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. Yeah, McTominay's going to be staying. Matic, like I said, he looks like he's going to be staying. Fred, he'll stay with us for next season, but I don't think he's got a long-term future at Man United. Fred, he's good when he wants to be, but I've got my concerns about him. We overpaid for Fred. We got him in a deal worth 52 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. Bruno Fernandes, obviously, he's very, very good. He's our best player, and he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. Obviously, Fernandes is going to be staying. Fabrizio Romano said not so long ago that Man United are looking at a new contract for Bruno Fernandes, because he said towards the end of last season we was looking to double Bruno Fernandes' wages to 200 grand a week. Mason Greenwood, he's obviously very good. He's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Despite him going a long period without scoring, Greenwood's going to be staying at the club. Marcus Rashford, you know, he's good when he wants to be, but there's aspects of his game that I've got to improve because Rashford has endured his bad periods and he has become injury prone. Obviously we know Rashford's going to be staying at Man United. Rashford is out until the end of October because he decided to undergo surgery on his shoulder. We need to keep Marcus Rashford out on that left-hand side because that's where he seems to be more effective. Edinson Cavani, obviously he's made an impact since he's come in. Very delighted he's staying for next season. Fabrizio Romano did say towards the end of last season that Cavani agreed a 1-year contract. So there you go. So anyway guys, back on another video soon. Drop your comments, like, explore on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.